Patrick's Day for those of you who celebrate. For everyone who is not wearing green, I will see you after the meeting. We do have a quorum with 10 members present. Pursuant to Council Rule 28, the public comment period at committee meetings is limited to items that appear on the committee agenda. All public comment speakers must present proof of Tennessee residency. We do have one person signed up to speak, Jamel Campbell Gooch, speaking on RS 2025-1100 in opposition. And Mr. Gooch, if you can come up to the podium, you are recognized.
I had to check my time. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jamel Campbell Gooch. I live in District 21. I grew up in Nashville. I'm the organizing director here at the Southern Movement Committee. You have seen me before with several of our young people coming into this space. First, I would like to thank you all for your ongoing support of the Varsity Spending Plan and championing the nation's first Office of Youth Safety that was created by our young people at the Southern Movement Committee. Under the dedicated leadership of Budget Chair Delisha Porterfield, this committee made a pivotal decision to allocate $1 million towards these transformative efforts that our young people led. Since then, we have been working digitally, building the Office of Youth Safety in a co-governance model with Chair Delisha Porterfield, Juvenile Clerk Matthews, and many others in the mayor's office. They have honored our young people's visionary leadership in creating a model designed to address and proactively prevent gun violence in Nashville. However, it is with concern that I address you today regarding Bill RS 2025-1100, which I believe will undermine our young people's visionary leadership. This bill poses a significant risk to the foundational work we have laid together and strays away from the vision of our young people. We cannot support this bill at this time, but we ask, can you please continue to support the work of our young people in building the Office of Youth Safety? Therefore, I stand before you today requesting a recommitment to our shared goal of ending gun violence across Nashville by fully funding the Varsity Spending Plan. I urge this committee to reaffirm your support for the student-led Office of Youth Safety by not only committing but backing and enhancing your investment in our mission of ending gun violence. This is our opportunity as Nashville to lead by example, showing that Nashville is dedicated to the innovation and solutions that get to the root causes of gun violence. Thank you for your consideration. This is critical, and this is a critical time, and we must reinforce the leadership that is coming from our young people, because together we can end gun violence and show these young people that it is time to respect their leadership and walk alongside them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell Gooch. That was the only person we had signed up. Committee members, if you could, please put your yellow committee member cards up. For the agenda today, we have the following items on consent. If you would like to bump anything from consent, please raise your hand. RS 2025-1075, RS 2025-1077, RS 2025-1078, RS 2025-1079, RS 2025-1080, 1081, 1082, 1083, 1084, 1085, 1086, 1087, 1088, 1089, 1090, 1091, 1092, 1093, 1094, 1095, 1096, RS 2025-1101. If anyone has anything that they would like to bump from the consent agenda, please speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, we'll go ahead and read the captions for the consent agenda. RS 2025-1075, a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Department of Law to compromise and settle the personal injury claim of Robert Bean against the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County in the amount of $7,000, and the said amount to be paid out of self-insured liability Fund, sponsors Porterfield and Toombs. RS 2025-1077, a resolution to approve the third amendment to a grant contract for constructing affordable housing approved by RS 2022-1443 between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Housing Trust Fund Commission and Inspiritus Incorporated. Sponsors Porterfield, Gamble, Allen, Gadd, and Toombs. RS 2025-1078, a resolution to approve the second amendment to a grant contract for affordable housing for contracting affordable housing approved by RS 2022-1443 between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acted by and through the Metropolitan Housing Trust Fund Commission and Habitat for Humanity of Greater Nashville. Sponsors Porterfield, Gamble, Welsh, Allen, Gadd, Toombs, and Benedict. RS 2025-1079, a resolution to approve the third amendment to a grant contract for constructing affordable housing approved by RS 2022-1443 between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Housing Trust Fund Commission and Rebuilding Together Nashville. Sponsors Porterfield, Gamble, Welsh, Gadd, Toombs, and Benedict. RS 2025-1080, a resolution accepting the terms of a cooperative purchase and master agreement for promotional products and services for the National Public Library. Sponsors Porterfield, Welsh, and Toombs. RS 2025-1081, a resolution accepting the terms of a cooperative purchase and master agreement for the purchase of mobile solar powered charging systems and related services for the Department of General Services. Sponsors Porterfield and Toombs. RS 2025-1082, a resolution accepting a grant from a Step Ahead Foundation of Middle Tennessee Incorporated to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Health to provide reimbursement for certain costs associated with providing long-acting reversible contraception. Sponsors Porterfield, Evans, Welsh, Allen, Gadd, Huffman, and Toombs. RS 2025-1083, a resolution accepting a grant from the Tennessee Department of Health to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Health to provide oral disease prevention services for school children in grades K through 8 and qualifying public schools. Sponsors Porterfield, Evans, Welsh, Gadd, Huffman, Toombs, and Ellis. RS 2025-1084, a resolution accepting a grant from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Health to provide for the prevention, surveillance, diagnosis, and treatment of HIV/AIDS, and to administer a minority AIDS initiative program. Sponsors Porterfield, Evans, Welsh, Bradford, Gadd, Huffman, and Toombs. RS 2025-1085, a resolution accepting a grant from the Marjorie A. Newhoff Private Foundation Incorporated to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Health to provide funding for the care of shelter animals at Metro Animal Care and Control. Sponsors Porterfield, Evans, Bradford, Gadd, Toombs, Ellis, and Hancock. RS 2025-1086, a resolution approving Amendment 1 to a grant from the Tennessee Department of Health to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Health for public safety partnerships and high-impact areas to use available data to identify populations at high risk for adverse consequences from substance abuse and employ evidence-based interventions that are responsive to population needs. Sponsors Porterfield, Evans, Welsh, and Toombs. RS 2025-1087, a resolution accepting an in-kind grant from the Hillsborough West End Neighborhood HWEN Association to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation to provide tags for existing trees and a sign for the HWEN Arboretum. These are some words, y'all. To include Fannie Mae Dees Park. Sponsors Cash, Porterfield, Welsh, Allen, and Toombs. RS 2025-1088, a resolution accepting a grant from the Centennial Park Conservancy to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation to provide funding for educational conferences, travel, and other related expenses for Parthenon staff. Sponsors Taylor, Porterfield, Gadd, Welsh, and Toombs. RS 2025-1089, a resolution approving a sole source contract between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County and ZOLL Medical Corporation to provide cardiac monitors, AEDs, accessories, and preventative maintenance and repairs. ZOLL specific software, including ZOLL Cloud Services. Sponsors Porterfield, Evans, and Toombs. RS 2025-1090, a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Department of Law to compromise and settle the personal injury claim of Shelter Mutual Insurance as subrogate of Jada Dumas against the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County in the amount of $17,092.24, and that said amount to be paid out of the self-insured liability fund. Sponsors Porterfield and Toombs. RS 2025-1091, a resolution accepting a Homeland Security grant from the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Office of Emergency Management to implement state Homeland Security strategies by addressing the identified planning, equipment, training, and exercise needs required to prevent, respond to, and recover from acts of terrorism. Sponsors Porterfield, Evans, Huffman, Toombs, and Ellis. RS 2025-1092, a resolution approving a preliminary engineering agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County and CSX Transportation Incorporated, a Virginia corporation with its principal place of business in Jacksonville, Florida, to facilitate the development of sidewalk improvements adjacent to CSX Rail at Alabama Avenue. Sponsors Porterfield, Parker, Gamble, and Toombs. RS 2025-1093, a resolution approving Amendment 1 to a grant agreement between the United States Department of Transportation, or USDOT, and the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Nashville Department of Transportation and Multimodal Infrastructure, NDOT, for a strengthening mobility and revolutionizing transportation, or SMART grant, to install LiDAR and video camera technologies at key intersections and mid-block segments for near-miss data collection. Sponsors Porterfield, Parker, Welsh, Huffman, and Toombs. RS 2025-1094, resolution approving Amendment Number 1 to a sole source agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County and Vanderbilt University for partnering services for a strengthening mobility and revolutionizing transportation SMART grant from the United States Department of Transportation, USDOT, or USDOT. Sponsors Porterfield, Parker, GAD, and Toombs. RS 2025-1095, a resolution approving a contract between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville, Davidson County, and M4 LLC for the provision of asset management software licensing, support, and maintenance. Sponsors Porterfield, Parker, and Toombs. Almost there, y'all. RS 2025-1096, a resolution approving a participation agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Department of Water and Sewerage Services and Richland Building Partners to provide sanitary sewer service improvements for Richland's proposed development, as well as other existing properties in the area. Sponsors CAP, Porterfield, Gamble, Parker, and Toombs. RS 2025-1101, a resolution requesting the Department of Finance and the Housing Division of the Department of Planning to research and determine the feasibility of the creation of a special revolving loan fund to issue loans for affordable housing that allow for smaller investments for members of the Nashville community. Sponsors GAD. And that is all we have on the consent agenda. Do we have anything that anyone would like to bump off consent? Seeing none, can I get a motion? It has been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? The consent agenda passes 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. The first item not on consent is RS 2025-1062, a resolution affirming the determinations of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to issue general obligation bonds pursuant to certain initial resolutions previously adopted by the Metropolitan County Council and consenting to reallocations for specific public works projects. Sponsors Toombs, Porterfield, and GAD. Can I get a motion? Is there a second? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Motion carries 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. The next item is RS 2025-1067, a resolution approving a preliminary engineering agreement between CSX Transportation Incorporated, CSXT, a Virginia corporation with its principal place of business in Jacksonville, Florida, and the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to facilitate the replacement of an existing bridge on Eastland Avenue. Can I get a motion? Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Councilmember Cap, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I'll move approval, and I also have an amendment.
Is there anyone that would like to move Councilmember Cap's amendment? It has been moved. Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Councilmember Cap, would you like to discuss your amendment?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, it's a housekeeping amendment. Metro Legal asked to add it. It protects Metro to make sure that this is consistent with what we've discussed with CSX, and it doesn't change anything substantive about the agreement.
Thank you so very much. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the amendment say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Amendment passes 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Can I get a motion for the bill as amended? It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion for the bill as amended? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Motion carries 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Bill passes as amended. RS 2025-1074, a resolution appropriating to certain accounts for the benefit of Metropolitan Transit Authority, National Department of Transportation and Multimodal Infrastructure, Department of Information Technology Services, and the Mayor's Office in the amount of $59,300,000 in connection with the Choose How You Move Transportation Improvement Program. Sponsors Porterfield, Parker, Welsh, Gad, Huffman, and Toombs. Can I get a motion? Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Vice Chair Toombs, you're recognized.
Is this one of those bills that has to be deferred one meeting? No, okay. So I'll have another question. So are these funds that are anticipated to be in place, or are they already in place? Can someone explain how we're getting to this calculation?
Thank you so much. We have Amanda from the mayor's office, if you will, from finance, excuse me, if you will introduce yourself, please.
Sure, Amanda Deaton-Moyer with the Department of Finance. So this half-penny sales tax was approved, as you all know, in November. And then we started collecting it in February. In our first return, we will receive those dollars in April. And so because this all happened after you approved the 2025 budget, we actually can't spend any of those dollars until they're allocated. So we are expecting and estimating this dollars just as we would a normal budget.
Councilmember Toombs.
So this is the estimate through June 30th?
It is. It's the estimated collections for the fiscal year 2025.
That's it, Chair.
Thank you. Are there any additional questions? And to be clear, Ms. Moyer-Deaton, to be clear, these are, we are only, did I get it backwards? Is it Deaton-Moyer? My bad.
I'm just glad you called me. It's cool.
My apologies. Thank you. Thank you for wearing green today. To be clear, this is only allocating the taxes that we have collected, correct?
So we are collecting those taxes right this very moment. If you've spent any dollars, you notice on your receipts, there's the increase. And so we're collecting them now, and we will actually have them remitted in April.
Let me ask this in a different way. If we don't collect $59,300,000, then we're not allocating that amount, correct?
Right. This is an estimate, just like any budget. This is a budgeted amount, just like you do with the regular appropriation process.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure it was clear for the viewing audience. Is there any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Motion carries 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. The next item that was not on the consent agenda is RS 2025-1076, a resolution appropriating the amount of $22,439,000 from the general fund reserve fund for the purchase of equipment and building repairs for various departments of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County. Sponsors Porterville and Toombs. Can I get a motion? It has been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Motion carries 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. The next item that was not on the consent agenda thank you, is RS 2025-1100, a resolution requesting Mayor Freddie O'Connell create an advisory working group to explore and determine a coordinated model that supports a long-term sustainable youth policy and strategic plan and analysis of data that extends beyond mayoral administration. Sponsors Druffel, Hill, Evans, Ellis, Huffman, Gamble, Nash, Gadd, Hancock, Allen, and Rutherford. Can I get a motion? Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Councilmember Druffel, you're recognized.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. We're going to ask for a two-meeting deferral with an explanation.
Okay.
Number one is I want to clarify what this resolution is all about. It says advisory group with representatives from the mayor's office, including the director of youth safety. So I want to, make sure everybody knows this is not without the Department of Youth Safety, and in fact, a very important part of it, to agree on a permanent coordinating mechanism for youth that will be housed within the mayor's office. It should include long-term vision goals, a model that supports long-term policy, strategic plan, and contains policies sustained across mayoral administrations. The reason for that is if you go back through the administrations, going back to Purcell, we've had 5 administrations with 5 different policies, programs, and nothing is sustainable. There are some programs that have sustained, but not consistently. Therefore, you have ups and downs, and you don't have a persistent effort that will create success. Purcell had set up a workforce development known as Nashville Career Advancement. Mayor Dean built a youth master plan. Mayor Berry had a scaling of youth employment opportunities, Opportunity Now. MNPS has thematic academies. Council A. Gamble, Chair to Metro Council Committee, making recommendations for after-school programs. And Mayor Cooper had a task force of 30 building and making recommendations for career exploration. All good ideas. We need to build so that these succeed over time and not just a one and done across administrations. So I'm asking for a 2-meeting deferral, and we'll provide a little bit more explanation tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Councilmember Druffel. It has been, the motion on the floor is for a 2-meeting deferral. Is there a second? It has been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on the deferral? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Motion carries 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting for a 2-motion deferral. The last item on the agenda is BL 2025-706, an ordinance approving 2 greenway conservation easements between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County through the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation and Rogers Group Incorporated for greenway improvements at 0 Gwenwood Drive. Sponsors Toombs, Porterfield, Gag, Gamble, Parker, Welsh, and Allen. Can I get a motion? Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Councilmember Toombs, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to move approval of the amendment.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Councilmember Toombs.
I believe the amendment makes a correction to the map, if I remember correctly. Is that correct, planning staff? Or Director Darby?
Council, okay, Director Darby.
The amendment actually, it's a housekeeping amendment. It adds the second conservation easement that was inadvertently left off of the original.
Parcel, yeah. That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I see Mr. Roten in the back. Are you motioning to speak? You want to speak? Oh, you don't want to speak. Okay, no worries. Okay, Council Lady Toombs, did you have anything else?
No,
All right.
renew my motion.
Is there any additional discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the amendment say aye. Any in opposition? Anyone not voting? The amendment passes 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Move for approval as amended.
It's been moved for approval as amended and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on the bill as amended? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Motion carries 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. And before you all hop out of your seats, we have a very quick update from Councilmember Allen. Councilmember, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have put a handout on the desk of the people who are on the Budget Committee, except I ran out, so if you're at the back, I will try to get you one. But the nonprofit working group has spent a long time sort of looking through our grant process and discovering what's broken about it and how we can do it better. And this is a summary of what we discovered. The main thing is we don't do any nonprofits a favor when we add them to the budget at the last minute and then don't have them connected to a department that can then ensure that they get their payments in a timely fashion. So this just talks about the important information that a nonprofit who can do something for Metro that we can't do as well as they can might come to Metro and ask to be included in the budget. They need to have their ducks in a row before they ever come. They need to work with a specific department. They need to have measurable outcomes and a defined scope of work. And before we ever put them in the budget, we need to know that they have connected with the department so that when we get to our wish list process, we know that they will be able to get to work immediately instead of having a 6 or 9 month lag while they play catch up and get all those things done. We'll be giving this to all the nonprofit groups as well, and also to the department. So I just want everyone to be starting on the same page so that if there are those that we try to add to the budget, we can do it in an effective way. And I will just point out, this is a fine point that council members need to be aware of. If we just say we want this thing to happen in the budget, and we put it in the budget, and we don't connect it to a department, and we don't specifically say this is a direct appropriation to this nonprofit, then there will need to be a department that takes ownership of it and an RFP process, which takes time to write and to award. And so there are multiple things that happen already outside of our process that don't even show up in the budget because grants can't be included in the budget if we're awarded them that then pass on. And many of our departments very effectively, specifically Department of Homeless Services and NASA, have a great process, and Office of Family Safety are three that come to mind. They're connected to the Community Partnership Fund program that already has an allocated amount of money. They know how to do this process very well. They have a very effective RFP process, and they know how to make the timing work. So that process is already in place. Those nonprofits, I believe, know how to work with that. What we're talking about is our good intentions, adhering from nonprofits, and trying to ensure that they can access Metro's limited amount of money to do things that Metro needs to be doing that they can do better. We want to make sure we do that effectively. So I encourage people to read through this one pager, to go to the links that are here. We'll send out an electronic copy as well that will have live links. So you can go and see Metro's got a very organized grant process spelled out. And the process needs to be followed in order for this to work well. So thank you so much to the members of my committee, Councilmember Frensley Webb and Spain and Greg and Councilmember Huffman. And there's one more person I'm forgetting. That's it. Okay, anyway, hard work. There was a lot of helpful input from Metro departments that I appreciate their feedback, especially ones that we did it wrong for, who very kindly sort of guided us through how to do it right. So I will stick around and answer questions rather than prolong this meeting, if that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Allen. And with that, our meeting is adjourned.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.